also get out of it as adults, and how to become a part of it. Inshallah, at the closing of the show, we'll see how can our adults become a part of this, and their children as well. So, inshallah, so scouting. Before I move on, just to let our callers know, if you've got anything to share on our topic today, the number to call in is 0116 212 9324, or you can text us on 07450 925 We are on Facebook Live, and you can also join us on www.ramadan.fm, and then we've got the rest, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the social media platforms. Right, and just to let you know, the views and opinions expressed and discussed on our show are our own, the host, the guest, and the callers. We do not intend to offend anyone. Please bear in mind, we are all volunteers and seekers of knowledge on our own journeys. If we make any mistakes, please do forgive us, and you can send us feedback via the Ramadan Radio email, and our producers will, inshallah, relay that back to us. So, what is Scouts? What is Scouts? My personal designs are, what is Scouts, or what is it all about? What is Scouts? Mariam, Alia, would you like to say a bit?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Scouting. So, yes. Scouting is offering young people development, and it gives them the chance for fun, challenging, unique experiences, everyday adventure, opportunities to help others so that they can make a positive impact in the community and the world around us all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes, that's kind of to sum it up.
That's to sum it all up, and there's so much more, isn't it? But
yes.
That's to sum it up again. Mariam, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, so it's survival skills as well, and it's also spending time outdoors, and it's just developing them as individuals so that they can become better human beings and better contributors to society.
And the community, yes, absolutely. If I can let our listeners roughly know, actually we should let them know, Alia, Mariam, and myself, we're leaders of Scouts groups. We are from different Scouts groups, but we're all doing the same job.
And part of the
same family. Scouting is one big family, isn't it?
100%.
And so basically Scouting worldwide, 28 million members, including adults and children. That is a big contribution, and there's a lot of memberships around the world. Over 218 countries, apparently, have Scouting in their countries. Roughly, the last time we had checked the stats, it was about 6 countries that hadn't got a Scout group.
Wow.
So 218 countries worldwide participate in Scouting, and there are over 9 million Muslim Scouts worldwide. Muslim Scouts. So we make up the largest religious grouping. MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. And in the UK, just got the stats before coming into the show today, we have currently 86 Muslim Scouting groups.
MashaAllah.
Wow.
Excellent.
In 2010, it was 20. So in 9 years, mashallah, the amount of groups that have grown, it's been amazing. I know Scouting is based on 3 principles. Do you? No, it's okay. I'm going. That's fine. So the first one is duty to. Each Scouting has its own.
Yeah.
So if you go to a Christian Scout.
Let me talk you through. So, for example, if you want an example of the promise that you typically make in a Scout group. So, for example, our Scouts, the promise that they would make. So when we join, when they come into the session, so say we start at 6:00, we'll get together, make a circle, we'll raise our hand, 3 fingers.
The Scout salute.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'll stand to alert, and we will say, and this is our Scout promise, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most kind. On my honor, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to Allah and the country which I live in, to help other people and to keep the Scout law.
Absolutely.
So that's the Scout promise, we'll make that at the beginning. And then we have a Scout motto. So the Scout motto, and that's across the groups, that's be prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
That's a big one for
Scouts
us.
are always prepared.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. And we promote that massively. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then we've got something called the Scout law. And just to go over the Scout law that we do with our Scout group. So for example, there are these following things. So a Scout has to be trusted. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is friendly and considerate. A Scout belongs to the worldwide family of Scouts.
Absolutely.
A Scout has courage in all difficulties. A Scout makes good use of time and is careful of possessions and property. And a Scout has self-respect and respect for others. Excellent. And subhanAllah, for us, this these scouting values, the promise, the law, all of them, they're all harmonious with our Islamic principles.
Absolutely.
And key characteristics which we want to develop in our young people. And that's the big focus for us, young people. Those young people who are going to be the leaders, they are our future. We're developing them, inshallah. And hopefully we're instilling in them this big thing that we have, our kind of hashtag, which is skills for life.
Skills for
life. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing through that statement, through the Scout law, the trusted, the loyal.
Yeah.
All of these qualities. There's 7 qualities we just read out there. Building those qualities in our next generation, like I said, to bring out new, good leaders from our next generation. It's amazing, and these are the things that we can't, as in a normal everyday day-to-day lives, we cannot actually provide that for our children.
You know what it is? Islam is a very practical religion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're providing opportunities for young people. I want to call them young people. That's what we're trying to promote, young people. And we're trying to give them opportunities where they can put these skills that we teach them. So, for example, we teach them honesty. We teach them integrity. We talk about these things, don't we? Being kind, being careful, being considerate, being trustworthy. But this is a platform where they can now put all of that into practice, because sometimes we do things where they're slightly out of their comfort zone. So, for example, we'll go camping. Some children have never stayed away
from their parents.
Ever. Mm-hmm. They've never been out of their parents' sight, So
it's like an extra. It's like a new thing for the parents, because they've never let their children go.
Yeah.
Out of sight. It's their comfort of letting them go, and same thing for the children. But it's coming out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maryam and Fatema, both of you know yourselves as well, the difference that you see in children who come to Scouts.
Absolutely. You know what? We can get to the children in a second. Forget the children. What about us? The growth that comes to us. I could say I was a little chicken before I started Scouts. I'd be terrified of everything, going out in the dark, and I can give a list of things. But since I started Scouting, you grow in so many ways as well.
100%.
List a few of the things for me. What you?
I can relate to that 100%, because for me, I know it's built me as an individual.
Absolutely.
It means that I'm confident. I'm
so much more.
I'm so much more willing to put myself out there. And sometimes it's just having fun with the children, but it's developing them as individuals as well.
So it's developing both the leaders, the adults, and the children at the same time.
Yes, definitely.
So much growth coming out of it, and benefits for both, right?
And also, Fatima, to become a Scout leader, there's levels of training that you have to undertake as well. And a lot of the training that develops you as an individual as well, then to take the program back and then implement that in your group, in your community, in your society, to make a difference. And we're teaching things like teamwork, leadership, management, planning, communication, self-motivation, cultural awareness, commitment.
That's great that you mentioned that.
Skills for life.
Skills for life. It literally goes back to that hashtag skills for life. Yeah. I was going to actually ask you that question next. So what about the adults and parents? How can they play a role? And what do they need to, how much of the time do they need to offer or commit to? Obviously that depends per group and the amount of leaders you've got, and the commitment each person can offer as well. It's not like you want to be a volunteer and you want to maybe volunteer once a month for your child's. Yeah. And normally the parents get involved. That's how I got involved. How I got exposed to Scouts is because I was looking for something for my son, and when he did start, I realized that how much probably I can offer other leaders, the group needs help from us parents, because it's not just a drop-off service, is it? Where you just drop your child off and it's a babysitting service for 2 hours, bye. No, there's a lot more to Scouting. It's not just a drop-off service. And yes, when you actually get yourself involved in it, like you said, you get all the training provided, and there's so much self-growth, and it's almost like a qualification you come out with. Yeah. Mariam, anything to say on that?
Yeah, so with yes, 100% it takes a lot of your time up, but I'd say every single minute is worth it.
Absolutely.
100%. And I wouldn't change it for the world. It's a common thing that you find amongst all Scout leaders. They will say to you, yes, I end up spending a lot of my time doing Scouting, but you find they do it because they love it.
They love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
It's what you see from the start, from when I've started and seeing the same kids where they've got to. From shy young children who could not say nothing, suddenly out there helping others, being team leaders themselves. You just see that change. Anything forget everything else. This is so worth it. This is so worth me taking my time out and giving it. Because like we said, it's our future generation that we're bringing up. And I believe, and I'm sure you agree, that we've read so much literature on kids that do attend scouting. They come out to be much more community people in the future, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they say that a week in camping is worth more than 6
Luxury
months
holiday.
at school or
Is it
something?
really?
I
Wow.
don't know, yeah, something crazy like that.
Because it is. I mean, it's outside of normal, curriculum activities, isn't it, as well? It's not just... What we offer as parents at home is different to what scouting. It's like we said, we're going that extra mile and more, and doing life skills, survival skills.
In my honest opinion, as a primary school teacher,
Yes.
I would say that scouting is probably the best thing that you can offer for your children. If you find a group, get your children enrolled, get them, doing skills for life, because it is probably going to be the single best thing that they're going to do in their life.
It helps them to get them hands-on everything, isn't it?
And what they're doing in scouting, they are not doing in schools.
No, not at all.
They are not doing that.
It's
in
two
schools.
different things altogether, isn't it?
Yep.
And like you said, you've just had it from a teacher who's seen both. Equally, they're as important as each other. But yes, it is really good.
Look, I've loved being a primary school teacher, but I love being a scout leader more.
It's the fun we have in there, right? Building fires and cooking on, live
It's just
fires.
developing young
It's developing.
people. That's what it is. Love it.
Definitely. I feel your passion and I've got it as well. It's just amazing. Sorry, Maya, what would you like to say?
I'm just going to say, I mean, I'm not even a teacher, but I absolutely love it. Being a leader as well and just inspiring, our young people. It's so incredibly rewarding.
Definitely.
100%.
I completely. Have you, tell us a bit about your group anyway first, before we move on. Tell us a bit about your group.
So we're called First Atakwa Scouts. We're a city-based group. We started about 2 years ago with about 20 plus children. And then a year later, we opened our scout section. And now, just in Ramadan, a couple of weeks ago, we opened our EAVA section. So we started with 24-ish. We're now at 65 young people across 3 sections. We're hoping, inshallah, we can really grow and max it all out as much as we can, inshallah.
Inshallah, all 4 sections.
Yeah, we've got a really, really dedicated team of leaders, volunteers, helpers. Alhamdulillah, we're so blessed. And they're incredibly dedicated.
Excellent. Yes, I have seen it. Alhamdulillah. It's very nice. Unity and teamwork definitely is a beautiful thing to have when you've got a scouts group and being able to delegate enough work. Bear with me 1 second. We have a message on Facebook from Rahima Kartela. She says, my son goes to Beavers and my older goes to the Scouts. Alhamdulillah, they have learnt so much. We recommend to anyone. The residentials are great and give them great confidence. Thank you so much, Rahima. We completely agree with you.
Totally.
Yeah.
What they gain from scouting, you cannot express it only in words. You only see through your child's action as they attend, and the more they go to, the more camps they do, the more they attend the scout sessions, they grow as individuals daily. We also have a text. Who do we need to contact for more information? Yes. And there was another message before that. What ages are Muslim scout groups available for? And are they segregated or do they work on catchment area? Okay. Right. Inshallah, towards the end of the show, we've got that plan, but I can give the website address right now as to where you can see local scouting groups that are closest to you. And it's always good to choose something close to you if you can't get to the ones. So there's a Scouts Association, so you can go to the website under scouts.org.uk, and then there's a Muslim Scouts Fellowship, which is ukmsf.org. So if you're looking to do, join your child to a Muslim scouting group, at the moment, as far as we are aware in the studio, there's 3 in Leicester, isn't there, Sister Ali? There's
First Atakwa.
First Atakwa, there's 115 Leicester, that's myself and our leaders with Yusuf Mangera. And then there's another one, 24th Scouts Leicester, that's based on Mere Road. So they're the 3 Muslim scouts that we're aware of. But wherever you're based in the UK, like I said, there's over 86 Muslim Scouts group based around the UK. So if you went to the website ukmsf.org, you can find all the information for that. And if you cannot find anything for you there, then you can also look, which has got a much more wider range as well, scouts.org.uk. It's the mother of the whole thing, basically. Even the MSF, they use that as an umbrella as well. I had something in my mind, but it's completely gone blank now. Okay, we'll move to the next topic. So inshallah, if that's enough, if there's any more information, our producer is also putting on our Facebook page with the information that you need. That's what it was. A slight explanation of difference between Muslim scouting and non-Muslim scouting. All scouting is the same. The rules are all the same. We all come from under one umbrella, the Scouts Association. They train us. Without that, there's nothing, right? But the thing is, they've helped us develop these little groups for us because as a Muslim community, if you want to take our scouts away on camps for salah, for making sure the food halal and the sweets and all the little things that we use, and it's just a few more additions, isn't it? It's about the food and the salah.
Yeah, but
I
wouldn't dismiss joining
any other group. Absolutely, because my son went to another group before this, and so we wouldn't. Yes, like you just said, we wouldn't.
I think it's such a amazing
everyone offers a vast
movement.
Absolutely,
and they do some amazing things.
Work.
And
amazing.
It's a very inclusive movement as well, and
Absolutely.
it's open to all. So
they're very very welcoming
and join your local group.
Join your local group. Yes, I mean it's easier for you to get to your local group.
Yeah.
For example, if you're based somewhere too far from somebody that wants it in Evington, there's local ones in Evington, in Oadby, Wixton. There's pretty much a lot around Leicestershire. So whatever's local to you, join that. We'd advise it because, like you said, they're very inclusive and it's very welcoming and it includes and it helps our children mix in with people as well, mix with other children, which is really really important, isn't it, Mariam?
Yep.
Helping our children to mix in with other communities as well, really important.
Well, we're such a diverse. We live in such a diversity, and we need to be able to communicate and relate to everybody.
Everybody, and we should understand everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever the background is and whatever faith it is, we need to mix in with everybody and understand that. So we was before the messages came in, and we've actually got another message as well. So I'm just gonna have to read that out. Amrin has Islam's Fatema. Wa alaikum assalam. How do people get involved? As in volunteering. Great show, everyone. Jazakallah khairan. Jazakallah for your message, Amrin. That means a lot. Inshallah, we will cover. But if you want to, Mariam, if you want to say something about how people can volunteer.
Well, if anybody wants to volunteer and they want to get involved, they're very welcome to come and see what we do. We usually meet on a Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. But with Ramadan and Eid coming up, we're on a little bit of a break, so we've got a bit of a change in our timetable. Mm-hmm. But after that, usually every Friday we meet from 6 to 8 p.m. So people are very welcome to come along. We're based at Masjid Taqwa on 1 Harewood Street, Leicester. Very welcome to come along, or I can give you some details later on.
What we're going to say at the end of the show, we'll be posting up the groups that we are aware of, so you can contact them directly, or you can again go to the Scouts. Sorry, I'll just read that out. The scouts.org.uk website, and you can actually go through their platform and look for how and where to volunteer, inshallah. My producer is just pointing that he's posted it on our Facebook page. Arif Jadsi Voraji says, don't forget to mention you also came and volunteers to feed the homeless on the market with us.
Yes, we did.
Oh.
We went a couple of times. And
excellent.
That was a blessing for us that he allowed us to come and to do that, because we want to get involved in more community projects. We're doing the food collection for Food Share, and we're doing a big collection, and our Scout group's going to help on Saturday with that as well.
Excellent. Yeah. Sorry, somebody on Facebook is asking what was the Muslim Islam's Ahmadani. He's asking what's the Muslim Scout website. It is, producer, if you can just post this on for us as well. It's ukmsf.org. ukmsf.org. By all means, contact them. Look up. They've got a lot of information on their website. You can attend and look up and read up on it, inshallah. Maria Warach,
as one of our leaders.
One of your leaders, excellent. Love the support. As a fellow Scout leader of At-Taqwa, First Scouts Group, absolutely love doing what we do. The growth and development we see within our young people is astounding, and it's an amazing way to get our young people involved, and most of all, it's fun. Yeah, we forget to mention that enough in it, how much fun it actually is. We have just in the 3 minutes before our break, inshallah. So if there's anybody else that would like to call in, we are on Ramadan special broadcast, EAVA 102.5 FM. The number to call is 212-9324, or you can text us on 07450925084. And with regards to the last question of how you can volunteer, like Sister Alia just said, you can go down to their group and see what it's all about. Again, you can go onto the website, and there's other local groups. You can just go to any local scout group and go there and ask them. Everyone is normally
There is
welcoming.
such a big demand. I mean, we have our waiting lists are massive.
Yeah.
And then
I was
we
just gonna
don't
come to
always
that,
have
yes.
enough leaders, so
Absolutely.
we have to cut back on the numbers.
Back on the numbers.
Yeah, just because we don't have the adult support.
Exactly. I'm going to come back to that right now. That point's important, but we have another text message come through. Salam sisters, doing a lovely job, mashallah. Quite interesting for myself, to be honest, as a young person who's keen on getting involved in the community. Also, shout out to Mrs. Amjad and Sister Fatima. Wa alaikum salam. I doubt Mrs. Amjad remembers me. Was one of her students in LIA in year 6. Wow. Enjoying hearing from you. Miss you loads. Sabiha Abdul Karim. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah.
Oh, walaikum salam, Sabiha.
What a lovely message here. You do remember her? Wow. She was a really good student.
They were all good.
All good. If Miss Ali is the teacher, they're all going to be good.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Right, so what would you do to stop on right now? And that lack of leaders, that's the most important part of this show. The purpose for the show is to let our adults know that we have so much children waiting. And we also need to go through the stages from Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, and explain that to our listeners a little bit of what sections there is and up to what age and how the chain becomes from the last Explorer network. They also can become leaders, and it carries on passing on to the community now, for our children. But actually, describe the sections first, Mariam, and then we'll go to the next thing.
Okay, so the youngest section is the Beaver section from ages 6 to 8. And then we have our Cub section, which is from 8 to 10. And then our Scouts, which is from 10 to 14. And then Explorers is from 14 to 16. And from 14 to 18.
14 to 18.
And then 18 to 25 is the Scout network.
Networking. And then after the network, they actually become part of the leaders.
Become part of the leaders, yes.
So, I mean, listeners can hear how many sections there is, and no matter how much leaders we have, each leader with their own skills, like you're a teacher, so you can bring so much of your skills of teaching into the scouting, right? Whatever you do, Mariam, I know what, if you've just come out of university recently or anything, is you bring that to the table, or it's just your passion that you can bring to the table. If you've got nothing, that we do as well. Even if you just, sorry, I'm getting pointed at with the producer. My producers, there's a question asked, does the scouting allow special needs children?
So scouting, like I said, is an inclusive movement, so it's open to all.
To everyone.
Everyone, yeah. So the way you can have a look on the Scout website and you'll see how Scouting has involved children with special needs as well. But yeah, Scouting is an inclusive movement. It's open
for
to
everyone
yeah,
and anyone.
All backgrounds, yeah.
Everyone.
All faiths, yeah. All needs.
All ages.
Yeah.
Right, inshallah. So we're going to, we just mentioned about the section, sorry. We've got a break in about 21 seconds. So inshallah, we'll discuss that a bit more further shortly after the break. And also what we'll do, with the Muslim Scout groups that we know, we'll put the links of that on Facebook as well, and then we'll mention some of the other ones as well, inshallah. So see you after the break. Jazakallah. we've mentioned the site they can go to. I know we've mentioned the MSF and the Scouts group they can actually go to and find out how to attend the groups and volunteer themselves. But what can we really say to them today to really action it instead of saying, okay, well, it's interesting, we'll get in, we'll do it, we'll try out someday.
So when we're looking for volunteers, we're looking for a broad range of people actually. So people who can offer any range of skills. I mean, like you said, they can come in, and even if they can dedicate a fraction of their time a week, the way I would go about it, or the way if anybody wants to get involved, I would say come along to a session, have a look, see what's happening, see if it's something that you could possibly get involved in. What can you bring to the table? I mean, it doesn't have to be it doesn't even have to be a skill, like you said.
No,
it
exactly.
Can be, just some help.
Just some help.
Just so that we can then offer the program to a wide range of young people, and then just so that we've got the adults who can help us to do that. Miriam, do you want to have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say you have to see it to believe it. So come along, you have to come and have a look and see the sessions and see the impact that it's having on our young people and get involved.
Exactly. Like we said, it doesn't have to be a skill. And the beauty about this is that you can come and the skills you haven't got, you can attain them, because the Scouts Association offers such vast amount of training, and it's amazing, from first aiding to cooking and building fires, campfires, chopping wood. There's so many different things. I mean, can you name a few of the skills
from management? So 4 of us in our group, we became training advisors. Mm-hmm. So now we can sign off training. Yay.
Excellent.
Yay. So Miriam and a couple of other Scout leaders, they got their they went for their archery permit. 2 of them went for the hill walking permit. Excellent. All of us have to be DBS checked. We have to go through some core training, so safeguarding and things like that. So those are essential. You have to do those. So starting out skills. But then there's other things as well, that if you want to develop yourself as a leader and you want to do things like management, things like Miriam did with the archery, and Nights Away, for example. Hopefully we're going to get that signed off.
Congratulations on that. Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So I mean, there's such a breadth of skills that you can pick up as an adult as well, and there's so much you can give. If we can do it, you can do it.
100%. Yeah. I believe in that. If we can do, you can do it.
And you don't need to come from a teaching background to get involved.
No, you don't. Not at all. You can be a doctor, an accountant, a dentist.
Yeah, so
somebody just a business person.
If you look at the background of our group, we've got pharmacists, we've got teaching assistants, we've got optoms,
people in IT.
Yeah, we've got a whole range. Students.
And you can all bring something. Students, absolutely. And everyone brings something to the table, don't they?
Yes.
We need every skill, and even no skill. It's okay. Anything you can bring. You've just got to have the passion for our next generation.
And dedication as well.
And dedication. Whether you take on half an hour a week, or you take on 15 hours a week, or you take on every day of the week for scouting and you make that your main thing. Anything is welcome, anything is wanted. But whatever you take on, just try and commit to that. And then it helps. The more leaders we actually get, it lightens the burden on every leader. Yeah. So if one's doing the admin, the other will do the practical, then one will run the sessions, one will do the lesson plannings. There's so much work involved. And sometimes groups shut down purely because there's not enough leaders, and the work that needs to be carried out, there's not enough people to carry out, and who misses out? Our children.
And also, Fatema, another thing I think that the listeners need to realise as well is that Scouting it's a voluntary movement. So all of the people who are involved in delivering sessions week in, week out, they're all volunteers. It's not a paid job.
Yeah, it's not a paid job.
It's all voluntary.
A lot of people don't know that, actually.
No. They ask you how much you get paid, and you think, well,
in fact, the
hopefully
kids,
in the akhirah, inshallah.
Inshallah, in the akhirah. And what are we doing this for? Like we keep on mentioning again and again, it's for our future generations, to bring up a better, caring for our world generation. There's so many skills they come out with. And like we said, it's skills that we don't have at school or at home with our parents. It's new skills, real life skills. Like from changing a socket. You could do your kid just a light bulb.
A light bulb, yeah.
Yeah, or just cooking or charity, like someone mentioned on Facebook, one of your leaders, or somebody else, one of the charity events that you've attended.
Yeah.
Right? We take our kids to do charity events, and They introduce people of different faiths to come to our masjids and learn about Islam. They do from everything. They learn life skills. They're giving dawah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
And the main thing is they love getting those badges on their sleeves, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
They just, and you get proud. We look at their sleeves filling up with those badges of different activities, and we'll get to the activities as well. What sort of activity we cover, but it makes them so proud. And at the same time, it's not just about getting that badge. They've achieved something and they've grown in that sector of their life, in that aspect of their life. We've got a message on Facebook from Hasina Pirji. Salams, I will definitely like to get involved. I've been wanting to get into this for years. Jazakallah, Sister Hasina, that means a lot. And you know what? Don't wait for tomorrow. Just look up on the Scouts Association website today and get involved.
Come along.
Do us all a favor. Do yourself a favor. It'll be amazing. You're going to love it. Forget everything else. Like we say, it's about the fun you're going to have. All the fun that comes along the way as well. And Anfal Abu Bakr is saying, love this. Thank you for your support. Aisha Amjad is saying, couldn't agree more. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everybody that's on Facebook. It really means a lot. Any questions, please do let us know. Any ideas that you want to bring to the table as well. And you are listening to Ramadan special broadcast on EAVA 102.5 FM. The number to call in is 212-9324. And you can text us on 074-509-25084. Sister Aliyah, activities.
Oh gosh,
What fun activities.
Where to start, indeed.
Before we start, I have another message. Salams, mashallah, just listening to the radio show, please emphasize on scouting being part of Islam rather than something totally separate. Okay, inshallah, we will do shortly. We'll get back to that subject. But yes, like we did say, the laws, the moral, the principles, all the values that scouting holds, it's Islamic values. Yeah. So it's not just that you're sending your child to become a certain way of life skills, because those life skills are got to do with being a good human being and being from a Islamic point of view. Yeah. Just being a good human.
Well, at the beginning I did say that they're all Islamic principles.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree any. Like, there's nothing else we can say. If we look at the law and the principles, it's nothing not Islamic about it.
Fatema, if I talk to you about our group, and so basically because we run out of a masjid, so we offer to our children. So our children are coming to madrasa. So in the madrasa, we're giving them all of the academic kind of learning that they need as young Muslims.
Yes.
Yeah. But then the thing is that we're not giving them the skills for life that they need. So if you talk to our young people, and just the other day we were having a conversation with them, so what does Scouts mean to you? And one young girl said to us, so I come to madrasa, so Monday to Thursday I come to learn Quran and things like that. On Saturday I do Islamic studies. But Scouts is where I put it all into practice. Absolutely. And that for me is summing it all up. I take all of my learning that you're teaching to your young people, and then scouting's putting it all into practice, because they're really facing those situations where they have to be their integrity, they're sharing, caring, all of those things,
teamworking, building character, letting each other lead.
Yeah,
I mean, so many of them learned about just
and opportunities,
so many.
Generally, from kind of. We don't push our young people forward enough for them to develop themselves, and scouting does that. It pushes young people, it gives them opportunities to take the lead and to do things, and we could take a leaf out of that book with a lot of things that we do.
I mean, one of the things I absolutely love is the motto where it's you think of others before you think of yourself. Now that's an Islamic principle. That's something that we would teach as Muslims.
Exactly.
But that's in scouting.
Trusted, loyal,
so friendly. We can get behind that 100%.
Absolutely.
Because we want to develop our young people, and we want to develop our young people into not just good human beings, but good Muslims as well. And there is a way to do that through scouting.
100%.
And also what we want to do is then, how we're talking about developing these young people, is then we want to make this, inshallah, to be something which is self-perpetuating. So they go up from beavers, cubs, scouts, explorers, network, and they feed back into the system again, where they come back. And you'll see across scout groups, across the country, across the world, you'll see young people who come back as leaders, and they give back, because you have to give something back.
Yep.
You have to give something back 100%. To your community, to your society.
I agree, and I'm sure our listeners are agreeing.
Yeah, we're hoping they're not just going to contribute, not just back into that system, but inshallah, even contribute to society as well, and
It
part
is.
of our, yeah.
I mean, scouting is, isn't it? Bringing children up and teaching them life skills, actually teaching them to be participate in our communities and our cultures.
Yeah.
You know, we're teaching them things, and hopefully they'll come into practice and they'll be able to action them in real life. Like you said, they already said to you, from whatever they learn at madrasa, they're actually applying that in real life in scouting.
Yeah.
And when it comes to reality of living life, when they're grown up, they can those morals are going to stay with them.
Yeah.
Where they're learning these skills at such a young age that it's embedding with them.
But it's the same thing, Fatima. Islam is a very practical religion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're putting those skills into practice.
Yes.
We're learning how to put those skills into practice.
Absolutely. Right, listeners, if you've got any questions, any more questions, any ideas, please do either Facebook us, send us a message on Facebook, or call us in on 212. We've not heard from anybody, actually. We had a call on the break, and we've answered the question of that. But 212-9324, call us in with any questions. We'd love to give our ideas and advice or suggestions.
We were talking
anything.
about activities.
Activities, let's get back there, thank you.
Kind of went off the track a
We
little
did,
bit.
many
Mariam,
times.
why don't you talk about activities, because you've done some planning recently.
So we've done some of the badges that we've covered. We've covered pioneering, so they've learned how to tie knots. But it's, they've learned how to make things like camp gadgets. And, these are like life knots that you would need, for all sorts of different things that you would do. Then they've done backwards cooking. They've learned soon, inshallah, we'll be doing a DIY badge. So that's where they'll be learning, essential life skills. How do you do some DIY? We've also done
Astronomer badge.
We've done an artist badge. We've done an international badge as well.
So what is an astronomer badge?
So with the astronomer badge, we've done some stuff like stargazing, identifying planets, looking at the sizes of planets. Whole range of activities. We did that quite a while ago, so excuse me if I don't exactly remember all of the details.
That's fine.
But I learned something new through that badge. I could now look and see constellations which I never knew about before. But through scouting, I've learned that.
So yes, like we said, the kids and as adults all benefit, don't we?
We've done work with the police
Yes.
and the fire brigade. We've had them come to. We've gone to visit them.
Our group did the same thing last weekend.
We're
as
going
well.
sailing in
Excellent.
September. We're going to a Cub Splash Day in September as well. Lots of water sports and things like that. We're going camping in July.
We went camping, that was we've got a summer camp coming up, but we've just had our camp in the
Spring camp.
in the spring. Yeah, in the spring
What a
break
weekend
has just
that
been.
was.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Weather-wise.
so much fun, honestly. We had such a good time.
We've basically not been to a single camp yet where it hasn't rained.
Yeah, neither are we actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the summer camp, is that part of the MSF camp?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we should let our listeners know about that. So basically every year, MSF has events as well. And every summer they have a camp and they bring together all the Muslim scouting groups around the UK. The North have a day where all the North scouting groups get together, and then the South has a day where all the South of
a
UK.
weekend rather.
Yeah.
2 weekends.
2 weekends, yeah. So they have 2 weekends, one for the North and one for the South. So yeah, we're all looking forward to that, inshallah, as of this summer coming up. Right. Uniform. Should we tell our listeners about the uniform for adults and for the listeners? For the young ones as well, sorry.
So Scouting is a uniformed organisation. So children or young people, they do have a uniform. So Cubs have a particular uniform and Beavers have a particular uniform and Scouts do as well. And alhamdulillah, being an inclusive movement, it means that people like myself who wear an abaya and a hijab, it means that I can still be part of the movement and not feel left out, and I can take part in all of the activities as well.
Absolutely.
And, alhamdulillah.
It's amazing. So it's fit for everybody. And neckers, do you want to explain to our listeners what the neckers are? And do you want to show them, like your colours and your necker? To them on the camera, you can show them. So, for the listeners that haven't got, I'm not watching on Facebook, First Taqwa has a navy and a green necker. And our group actually has a yellow and a black one. So if I leave it to one of you two to describe what a necker stands and represents.
So essentially a necker is basically just a triangle piece of material, I'd say.
Yeah, that goes around your neck.
But yeah, it goes around your neck.
It's super cool though, isn't it?
It's something that identifies you as part of the scouting movement, and you'll get groups from everywhere, and they all have different colours or different ways. And so as you can see, ours has got our logo on the back of that. But yeah, it's loads of colours, and it's the one thing that identifies you, and it's something that I think even the leaders and all of our sections, they wear it proudly. Yeah.
The uniform as well, isn't it? It's just the kids wear it proudly, don't they? They look forward to it. It gives them the sense of identity as well, isn't it?
And
that they belong to something. They
Yeah.
belong to something,
Yeah.
and they're proud to wear it.
Yeah.
It's like any other uniform, a police uniform or a fireman uniform. You know, kids when they wear that, it's like they feel
They're
proud of it.
And also the badges as well, when they put their badges
yes.
on, because you have a group label, don't you?
Yes.
Which identifies your group, and then you have your district, so you have those kind of related badges. You belong to the family of World Scouting as well, so you have that badge. So, you know, the young people, they love all of those badges, and they love, you know, all the kind of accolades of collecting all of those.
What they've done, yeah.
Yeah.
They look, the
Yeah.
beavers and the cubs look super cute in their uniforms, and
Oh, they
they've got
really do,
badges
yeah.
so proudly go into, and they go back home, and you know
Yeah.
they show it.
They
so
do.
yeah, it
When
does a
they're all
lot.
in uniform, they look so adorable.
Adorable. So neckerchiefs basically represent each group. So when you're like going to an event, like for example the July camp with MSF, when all the scouting groups get together, each group is identified by its neckerchief as well. So that it means it's a very strong representing each group as well.
Yeah.
Next question is it's for parents that are listening, is how do parents know that their children will be safe? So what are we doing for volunteers that are joining? Is there precautions, any steps that we take for?
So all of our members or anybody that's joining, every member has to be DBS checked.
Excellent.
And that's through the scouting movement. So that's all official. And so even if you do have, in any profession, even if you do have a DBS, you have to actually be DBS'd through the scouting movement.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, and then if they go on to have wider roles, then they go on special training like safeguarding training
And safety as well.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. What about our children's physical safety? You know, when we go take them on camps and things, what precautions do we take for that? I do know the answer, but of course I'm for our listeners, I have to ask these questions.
Risk assessments.
Risk
I
assessments.
think
So,
you
yeah,
need to see our risk assessment for our last camp. I think it's probably the longest risk assessment I've ever done.
we do, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
for every activity that we carry out, isn't it? We do risk assessments and throughout the whole. So whether it's kayaking or just having a balloon race, whatever it is, every activity that gets carried out on a day-to-day basis at a session,
Risk assessed,
Yeah.
and at a camp, because a camp is obviously more risk because you're going away for a couple of nights and you're doing activities, and so yes,
I mean, we
everything.
recently had an event called Iftar Under the Stars. It's a national event that Muslim Scout groups are doing across the country. So even for that, I had to risk assess.
Risk assessment.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a beautiful event. We all attended
it
as well. It was excellent. So yes, also MSF has suggested us all the UK scouting groups to do iftar under the stars, and it's amazing when inshallah, if whoever's listening and who's going to be part of this, you'll see how so many groups of a UK set up the different kinds of iftars under the stars. They'll do a camping, they'll be in the outdoors, some do the indoors. And it's such an amazing family to be part of.
It's a family.
It's a
That's
family.
What it is.
It's one big family, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's like, if you actually get part of it, you'll understand once you're a part of it that how systematically it works and all falls into place so perfectly.
Yeah.
We're
people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and you just feel like you belong to a family.
Absolutely. You really do.
And it's so, like we said, the Scouting Association is so welcoming and so inclusive. They go out their way. I mean, we attended the same weekend you were attending a camp. We attended our St. George's camp that we do with a non-Muslim group, and ourselves, they invite us to come. And then they do activities for beavers and cubs on a Sunday that come and use, each station and enjoy, basically. But you just see the things that they go out their way to make it comfortable for us, for our salah times. Mm-hmm. And they work around our timing. And we're talking about non-Muslim, and they're helping the Muslim groups, find the right time for the salahs and work around them. And another thing also I want to mention to the listeners that, when we do go to camp, what we, do, including of the salah and daily reminders we have and being mindful, we have those. I'm sure you include that as well. Do you want to just give a little brief description? We've got just another 3 minutes of what you would do on a daily basis on the camp, for example.
So, I mean, normally with the activities, you have the scouting sort of activities that you have planned anyway throughout the day. But with the breaks that you have in between, there is always salah that everybody comes together for, and it's always really nice. It's, one of our highlights, I think, when everybody comes together and you pray your salah, and then there's always a reminder, just to add to that as well. but it's just the environment, the atmosphere.
It's buzzing, isn't it?
Yes, it
It's
is.
buzzing. And when the kids go back home that night, how much they appreciate their parents, their guardians, their home, their beds, you know, and just being warm and having, camping teaches them so much about water, how they've got to walk and go and fill up a barrel of water or a container and bring it back, whereas at home it's just a tap. So the gratitude to
And also,
all the blessings
you
we
take
have.
them away from their creature comforts, isn't it?
Comfort zones, yeah.
And then they're in that environment and they appreciate other things so much more,
Yeah, they're away from technology.
And young people are so resilient. You can put them in an
They
environment
really are.
as long as it's all supervised, it's all safe. They're looked after. And you can see that they can achieve so much.
Yeah.
So much, inshallah.
One thing I will say is about our young people, when they are away from their parents, the things that they can do and they are capable of, honestly, is phenomenal.
It is. It's
But
unbelievable, isn't it?
the parents sometimes they won't believe it. They'll be like, really,
Well, really
my child did that.
I
I'm like,
agree
yep,
with
your child ate that. Yes, they did.
They did, really? At home, they wouldn't touch that, but they did. They had it twice, whatever, It's amazing, yeah. So just to summarize, inshallah, before we finish, we've got just under 1.5 in a minute. As Scouts, we believe in preparing young people with skills for life, yeah? We encourage young people to do more learning, learn more and be more. Each week, we help over 460, so as a whole group, 460,000 young people aged 6 to 25 enjoy fun and adventure while developing the skills they need to succeed now and in the future. We're talking about teamwork, leadership, resilience, skills that have helped Scouts become everything from teachers and social workers to astronauts and Olympians. We help young people develop and improve skills for life, key skills for life. We believe in bringing people together. We celebrate diversity and stand against intolerance always. We're part of a worldwide movement, creating stronger communities and inspiring positive futures. What Scouts do. Young people in Scouts take part in exciting programs of activities from kayaking to coding. They develop character skills like resilience, tenacity, employability, skills such as leadership, teamwork and problem solving, and practical skills like cooking and first aid. Volunteer today. So just before I go, we've got a message from Sister saying salams. Sorry, I can't actually read that. Would you read that? We've only got 15 seconds. I think they're just giving salams, aren't they? I actually can't read it.
She said,
at
please,
all.
can you send the details?
Inshallah, okay, we'll send them to you through the post office. Post it on Facebook shortly, inshallah.
Yep.
Our main thing is volunteer today. Go to the Scouts website and volunteer today, inshallah.
Get involved.
Yes, it's gone. That's
Good, well done.
Jazakallah khairan.
Did really well.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is the Children's Hour with myself, Sister Amrin, and Sister Fatema. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I am back already so quickly.
Alhamdulillah. Well, you're on a Ramadan special, EAVA FM 102.5. You can reach us on www.ramadan.com, and we are on 212-9324. The text number is 07450-925084. We are on Facebook Live, and inshallah, please join us for the Children's Hour. Okay, so we have been going through the 99 names, but before I go through the 99 names, what we want to do is go through the competition that we've got. So we had some children winners yesterday. I need to say as well, we've got still a few vouchers from yesterday that haven't been collected. So there's Safia, there's Huda, there's Medina Sheikh, and there's Hafsa, all from yesterday apart from Medina. So please, parents listening, please come and collect your vouchers. We don't want the children to be missing out. So yeah, please do come in. So I'm going to go through the competition first. So we've got, so we're going to go through, we've got the winner from last week's poetry competition from last Friday. So we're going to announce the winner there. And then we've also, I just want to run through that we've got the